My stepdaughter cut me off, until she needed help paying for college. I told her to ask her real dad instead. Hi Reddit. I've been lurking here for years, but today I felt compelled to share my story. For a long time, I acted more like a father to Olivia than her actual dad ever did. I came into her life when she was just 6 years old, after I met her mother, Sarah. Olivia's biological father, Mike, was inconsistent at best. He popped in and out of her life, but mostly he wasn't around. I was the one who showed up to her parent-teacher meetings, helped her with school assignments, and sat through endless dance performances. Our relationship wasn't perfect, but I believed we had a good bond. Then came the teenage phase, and everything shifted. When Olivia turned 16, she became distant, combative. Suddenly, I could do nothing right in her eyes. Every word out of my mouth seemed to trigger a sigh, an eye roll, or a snarky comment. One evening, we had a blow-up over a simple household rule: no phones at the dinner table. It spiraled out of control, and in the heat of the moment, she screamed at me, "You're not even my real dad. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're nothing, just some guy." It cut deep. Still, I bit my tongue. I told myself she was a teenager acting out, and eventually she'd grow past it. Sarah tried to smooth things over, saying Olivia didn't truly mean it. But those words lodged in my mind and refused to leave. Time moved on, and soon Olivia was in her final year of high school. College acceptance letters began arriving, and she got into her top-choice university. That's when she and Sarah sat me down for a conversation about the cost of tuition. "We were hoping you might be able to cover at least half," Sarah said gently, almost cautiously. I raised an eyebrow. "Half?" Sarah nodded. "We can pitch in some, but it's a big number, and Olivia really wants to go." I leaned back in my chair, folded my arms, and looked directly at Olivia. "Maybe you should reach out to your actual father about this." The room fell into a heavy silence. Sarah went pale, and Olivia looked stunned, like I had slapped her across the face. "What?" she whispered. "You were pretty clear with me before," I said. "I'm not your dad. I'm just some guy, and that guy isn't paying for your college." Her eyes began to well with tears. "But you helped raise me." "That was then," I said calmly. "You were angry, I get it. But what you said still matters. You can't just dismiss someone when it's convenient and then expect support when you need something." Sarah stepped in. "Come on, don't do this. She didn't mean it." "Then maybe she should have thought twice before saying it," I replied. "Actions have consequences." Olivia stormed off and slammed her door. Sarah and I argued for hours afterward, but I didn't budge. If I was a nobody in her life, then that nobody wasn't going to cover her tuition. Weeks went by. Eventually, Olivia reached out to Mike. At first, he ignored her calls. When he finally did respond, he said he couldn't help financially. That was the wake-up call. One night, Olivia knocked on my door. Her eyes were puffy and red. "Can we talk?" she asked. I nodded, and she sat down across from me, nervously twisting her fingers in her lap. "I'm sorry for what I said," she began. "I didn't mean it. You've always been there, and I took that for granted." I let out a quiet sigh. "I've always loved you, Olivia. But words have power. You don't get to treat people like they're disposable." "I know," she said, nodding slowly. "I don't want to lose you, especially not over this." I watched her for a moment, then slid a folder across the table. "This is a plan I put together. I'll help, but you'll need to contribute too. It's time to take responsibility." Tears rolled down her face, but she nodded. "Thank you." It wasn't a perfect resolution, but it was a start. And sometimes, that's all you can ask for. In the months that followed, Olivia stuck to the plan. She got a part-time job, applied for scholarships, and cut out unnecessary expenses. I couldn't deny I was impressed with the effort she put in. It was a side of her I hadn't seen before. One night, while we sat quietly in the living room, she hesitated before speaking. "Dad called," she said carefully. "He wants to take me out to dinner before I leave for school." I could hear the unease in her voice. "That's good, right?" I said. She let out a slow breath and fiddled with the edge of her sweater. "Maybe. It just feels weird." He didn't help at all. Barely even responded to my messages. And now, all of a sudden, he wants to spend time with me. She looked up at me, her brow furrowed. "Feels like he only wants to be around for the fun parts." I stayed quiet, letting her sit with the thought. Then she said it. "That's what I did to you, isn't it?" Our eyes met. "I think you're starting to see," I said softly. "Relationships aren't about who shows up when things are easy. They're about who stays when it's hard." She swallowed and nodded. "I treated you horribly, and you still stuck around." I gave a short chuckle. "Oh, I thought about walking away, more than once." She smiled faintly, then turned serious again. "I don't want to take you for granted anymore." I reached out and gave her shoulder a light squeeze. "Then don't." She nodded, her expression filled with quiet resolve. A few weeks later, when it was time for her to head off to college, she hugged me tightly before leaving. "Thank you," she whispered, "for everything." And for the first time in years, I truly believed she meant it.